Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My names are Michael Adekunle Charles, and I am the RBM Partnership to End Malaria CEO. It gives me great delight and opportunity to be able to welcome you to Nairobi, to this meeting in particular. Unfortunately, I cannot be there physically with you, and that's why I'm sending this message of strength, the message of goodwill, and the message of my unresounding commitment towards all the efforts you're making in terms of ending malaria. We all know where we are today in terms of the fight against malaria. We've reached the perfect storm. There's insecticide resistance, there's issues around conflicts, there's the funding issues as well, and together we need to come to a place where we're able to really show to our communities that a difference can be made. Within your working group, you have an exceptionally critical role in terms of helping us drive down the curve, drive down the burden of malaria. I always say that malaria elimination will start and end in the communities. So that community engagement is exceptionally critical, and I believe your working group really brings this into the forefront. The theme of the meeting today is insight to action. Insight in terms of the strategic insights that we have, but more importantly, how to turn those strategic insights into strategic actions. And that's what I'm hoping that you can get out of the meeting in the next 3 days in terms of what are those strategic actions, how can we continue to learn from each other in terms of what's working well, what's working less well, and how do we take this down to the communities. I believe, as per my vision, in terms of 4 main pillars. The first one is around coordination and convening and ensuring that we can collaborate as much as possible. No single entity can bring down the burden of malaria. We need to work together, and as we see that malaria continues to intersect with gender, with climate, with humanitarian crisis, we also need to be adaptive and really intersect with some of these sectors. How do we continue to communicate? How do we continue to show our behavior change towards issues around agriculture, infrastructure, education? And I believe, with this next 3 days, you will be able to continue to look at those strategic actions that are needed to take us forward. The second thing about my vision is around the multi-sectoral approach as well as the intersectionality. I spoke a little bit about it. The real intersections between malaria, the youth, malaria, gender, malaria conflict, etc. is exceptionally important. And we all need you in terms of that social behavior change around the actions that we need to take. So really coordinating, convening, looking at the intersectionality, and then making sure that we can have a secretariat and a partnership that really focuses on knowledge sharing. Knowledge sharing is key because we know what works well in some areas might not work well in other areas. There's no point in reinventing the wheel. So really ensuring that knowledge sharing is exceptionally critical, and I believe through your efforts you can help me materialize this vision that I have. The fourth aspect of the vision is around, from local to global, from global to local. We need to work together, we need to translate policies into action, and we need to see what the actions on the ground are that can influence policies. And I believe you, as the social behavior change community, can really help us in terms of feeding into the global discussions, into the regional discussions, in terms of what we're seeing on the grounds to help us influence our next steps. Critically, I believe that you will continue to engage with us on these various aspects. From the secretariat level, we're making every single effort to ensure the cross-fertilization between each of the working groups, but more importantly, with the partner committees, with the secretariat, and with the board. I bring you greetings from our board members and from our board chair in particular, Joy Pumapi, who is exceptionally excited around the working groups and the way we're able to transition the working groups into more action-oriented working groups. I thank you for your commitment. I thank you for your time here. I thank you for your deliberations that you'll be having over the next 3 days. Another action that we've taken from the Secretariat perspective is to have a working group specialist, somebody that will accompany you on a day-to-day journey in terms of your needs, in terms of your challenges, but also in terms of amplifying some of the opportunities that are in front of you. Again, I thank you for coming. Thank you for listening to me and giving me the opportunity to share the vision, and really thank you for your commitment and wishing you a good 3-day deliberation. And I'll be working with your co-chairs in terms of making sure that we can translate whatever you come up with into commitment. Thank you.